It is currently 3, well after the sunrise this morning at 7, as I capture video, and this is the entity that's stalking in a helicopter, just flying in circles. These are demons that are stalking, and doing so, amplifying it through my in the office. And you have the people of the state. You have engaging what is criminal presence as they live at the property. This is the light source that's over the. I'm remaining on October 14th, which is the day that I'm using. Just for with regard to what is, that's amplification. So let me just stop talking. That's called amplification. That's audible activity. And so the entity, you know what LAPD is doing. I want you to understand what the people of the state are doing. This is criminal presence in the path, literally by address, federal prosecution. Okay, literally covered in what is the the evidence of the crime scene, the engineered light that covers all of them. You're thinking about the light that you saw manifesting on my wall, and the just that rectangle of light that just appears like smoke. This is what the entity does, rectangular shaped smoke. But it's light, and you saw my shadow appear. That's because the people of the state surround a relevant position, and they're engaged in criminal monitoring. That's surveillance. That engineered light is instrumental with regard to monitoring. In concert with that, police department, that is again stalking in the path using helicopters. The world needs to understand, in the United States, and I'm specifically in the state of California, but understand it's not limited to California. I'm exposing what's going on in the rest of the country. And you know how you know that? Because this is not the natural environment, and you are again looking at it. It's after 3 p.m. The light source is still on the same side of the building it was 2 hours ago. And as you look at the video that I captured yesterday on April 9th, 2024 at 4:05 p.m. where I captured another video, and the entity was stalking in helicopter, and the light source is on the same side it is of building 1810. And big picture, the light source is rising right here at the hillside, and the light source is still right here. So this is stalking. That is indeed stalking in a helicopter. You have demons who are affiliated with law enforcement agencies in this country, the world that's paying attention. And in this country, they are terrorizing American citizens. We are not far off from these third world countries where we are supposedly putting ourselves out as though we are so free. And this is the reality that actually we're not, and that it's mostly a fallacy. It's an entire illusion, and it requires the people in this country to remain asleep, glued to your computer screens and your cell phones and on your Facebook and your TikTok, and you're not paying attention to what's going on around you. And somebody like me that is speaking the truth, this is why you're looking at ongoing terrorism. This is why you're looking at what is the following me, appearing in all my videos and helicopters. Not because I'm out looking for them. They're looking for me. They're listening to the truth that I speak, and then literally coming around to get in the purview of my camera. All right, which is nothing other than an idiotic provision of an admission, because I'm going to use it in federal court. I'm going to prosecute. Everybody's going to federal prison here at Alvarado Gardens. But nonetheless, this is capturing what is terrorism, and it's not just the fact that it's criminal by a government that's engaged in surveillance. This is demonic. All right, if you don't know what the demonic is made that which you can see. The demonic is invisible. Okay, somebody with demon possession, you're not going to see it. They're not going to have knives coming out of their wrists. It's not Beetlejuice. Okay, it's not some red horns coming out of their head. It's not levitating above the ground. I'm not saying that there are not dark things and creepy things that are going on in the demonic, but I want to be clear that personification of that in cartoons and in movies, you're intentionally misled in that regard. The demonic are surrounding. You're looking at them come into my office. You're looking at them holding hands of children. They're walking all across on the parking lot. They're standing out on the curb, walking with a cane. They're going in and out of this laundry room where the light source is present for 9 hours in the day through the windows, as I've documented. You're looking at them driving all around on the streets. These are demons, and they are engaging in what is a specific pattern of conduct. Demons are maintaining presence in this really peculiar light. This peculiar light, which again, you're not paying attention to it. Okay, but it's all around you. It's in your house. If you pay attention to where you live, you got multiple shadows. If you pay attention to the shadow activity, that's not normal light. Okay, a normal light would cast one shadow. You have not paid attention to the fact that there are multiple shadows when you're standing under light. Okay, these are the things you're paying attention to, and the entity is monitoring. And the entity is demon possessed, and it is engaged in what is hovering stalking. And the demon possessed surround you. And this is nothing to incite paranoia or fear. Okay, let me be clear. To the contrary, this entity is fearful of me. This is why they are hounding me in helicopters all day and surrounding me with all kinds of astronomical weird light activity. Yes, they're monitoring, and they engage in this creepy wizardry with the light activity, as I've shown you, which is, again, evidence that you cannot deny. And it is the evidence of that which I'm speaking to you about. Okay, it is demonic and it's criminal, and they are literally placing me under surveillance. They being the government and the people of the state. That's why you are at a property. And I'm showing you the light source, which is over the same building it was over this morning. This is impossible. And yet they're talking about a solar eclipse. This never entered the state of New York or Arkansas or Illinois. That's why I uploaded that information for you to see it with your eyes. Look what they're telling you on the news, and I'm telling you about the P.O.C. Okay, so the entity is engaging in the pattern of conduct stalking with helicopter, and these demons are pacing all around on Lobdell, on Effie, on Brandon. This is called relevant positioning. Okay, they're group stalking and they're focused on me. You know how they're how they're focused? Because the entity's stalking in helicopter, and because the entity's maintaining a light source as though this would ever be the sun. It's not. And what you're looking at in the sky space above you, wherever you're at, it's not the same object. This object is hovering directly above 1810 North Alvarado Street, where it has been since the morning time, by the way. It's hovering right in the location where LAPD is stalking, flying around in helicopter. It's right here. All right. This is the entity that's engaging in what is federal group stalking and monitoring, which is a system of criminal surveillance, and it's entirely demonic. Group stalking is not some cult in a church. It's the government that's actually engaged in group stalking, and it is demonic. It's demonic activity, and this is the criminalization of that demonic activity that's practiced by a public entity, a corrupt one. It's a matter of public corruption because the government is corrupt along with the people of the state, and this is the prosecution of the state of California. It's currently 3:31 p.m. The entity is maintaining this light source, and I'm going to go document some more group stalkers right now. He's going to federal prison. Many of these coming onto the grounds, making a delivery at the facilitating venue, they're going to federal prison. This is P.O.C. You can look back all you want. I'm going to go get that license plate. It's P.O.C. That's amplified audible activity. The demon possessed driving up and down Alvarado, knowing exactly what I'm doing. That's P.O.C. And that's why the people of the state, everybody that lives here is going to federal prison. And so is he. 9ADE320 is monitoring with that demon that's crossing path, and you hearing the sound of amplified audible activity. All 59 units here are filled with third-party group stalkers. This is stalking in the path. Again, that's MICHEL of 1806. Number 4, these demons are, I don't even believe, are natural-born citizens. They're going to be deported out of this country after they do time in federal prison. They are under the light source. What you see is an outright total departure from being over building 1810, because it moves as I move. And remember, on October 14, 2021, where I'm remaining inside of the Upland Public Library, which I show in video, still to come up at 3:50, 3:51. But yet you're going to remember the maintenance of the light source here, where it doesn't go anywhere, where the entity is setting it at the same address as though that's any sort of natural environment, which is what I'm going to use to put MICHEL in federal prison. Okay? The entity is engaging what is impunity while you see them obsessively. You see how he keeps his back to you, but he's stalking you because that's why he's in the path. And you heard that amplified audible activity, and you saw LAPD stalking a helicopter, and you've seen the engineer light all over the grounds. While it doesn't matter what their face is, that's a demon. Okay, and they're stalking. They're doing it in your face, and you're also going to prosecute for that. Living at a crime scene, you're engaging in surveillance. The secret society, all 59 units that live here, they're all going to federal prison. And the secret society that works for LAPD, they're going to federal prison. Okay, and they're done with law enforcement. It is currently 3:33 p.m. The entity is maintaining a light source and engineered light inside of my apartment on that bedroom wall. That's what you're going to continue to remember as I continuously show you vivid illustrations of what's impossible light activity. But you already know that. You saw the light on my ceiling this morning. You saw the light stretching across my carpet, then disappearing, appearing above my bedroom door. You saw the light stretching across my living room ceiling into the kitchen. You saw the light in my shadow appear above my head as I opened up my front door. You know that this isn't sunlight. You know that this isn't possibly the sun. And you also know that that's an iteration of what is stalking in the path with engineered light. And that's capturing what is impunity. 9C. That's Isela Hernandez. Yeah, engaging in what is ongoing impunity. That's fine. All 59 units are on an ongoing basis, showing how they are unworthy to be and literally a danger to the minor children that they're in custody of, and they're a danger to society. So if she works, for example, in the medical field, she won't be anymore. She's going to be removed from that, and her criminal record is going to follow her, and she's going to have a hard time getting those children back who she engaged in what is federal group stalking and monitoring with. Okay, and via. That's called crossing path, and she's doing it on behalf of LAPD, who is engaged in ongoing 24-hour surveillance in helicopters, and that criminal system is attributed to her, facilitated by her. And that's the prosecution that all 59 units filled with group stalkers, including minor children, that those children are going to be removed and they're going to federal prison. All right, you've seen her mug. I gave you uploaded images of her mug, and her boyfriend, criminals, sex offenders, engaging in terrorism with the state under what is a light source. They're demon-possessed criminals at that. It is currently 3:34 p.m. and this is P.O.C. You're going to remember that impossible light activity inside of my apartment, like I was stating before, that demon cross path showing impunity and malice. And you're going to recall that light activity every time I continuously remind you about where the light source is on another day, October 14, 2021. That's engineered light, which you already know because the blinds are closed. and you're looking at leaves blowing through trees, through blinds, through closed blinds. I just want to be clear. The entity is engaging in what is telling on itself. That's how you know Isela Hernandez is a demon-possessed third party, okay? And the entity is engaging in what is the ongoing pattern of conduct, aiming engineered light while I'm in Los Angeles. And at the same time, the entity is maintaining a light source over 450 North Euclid Avenue, the Upland Public Library. All the personnel there, they're going to federal prison because they engaged in criminal summoning while they were acting with the entity practicing what is federal group stalking and monitoring. Remember, the crime of federal group stalking and monitoring is demonic activity. And they were practicing federal group stalking and monitoring, engaging in what is criminal summoning while doing so. Just like you saw the entity arriving, driving a Center for Better Life vehicle today, and then referencing a 9ADE320 engineered light across the building, going to federal prison, that's demonic. All right, and that's exactly what you'll see, 905, 907, 908, while I'm on Hope Boulevard, October 14, 2021, during daylight savings time, at that exact same impossible behavior. This is what ties the people of the state of California together. Doesn't matter what their face, their race, what they claim their job is, where they live, they're in relevant position in the specific environment. This is a mass population, referred to as the secret society, and this is surveillance. And they engage in this demonic system, and that engineered light that you saw across building 1818, that impossible occurrence is happening amongst the population. All right, there is no such thing as just emptying your trash. That's a demon-possessed group stalker who is in engineered light, crossing path, showing their obsession with me, and a sex offender that's concerned with when my panties are down. Quite crawling all around an engineered light as I pull my panties up and down. That's the reality of what they're engaged in and what they're focused on. It is currently 3:36 p.m. That's P.O.C. review that light activity. The demon-possessed entity, the people of the state, are subject to mental examinations based on the pattern of conduct. They're targeting an innocent American citizen and also doing so posing an impermissible threat to one who's documenting it. And these obsessed stalkers know that they're being documented. That's relevant to their criminal prosecution. All 59 units are filled with third parties here at Alvarado Gardens, and they're all going to federal prison. All of the children are going to be removed from the custody of the people of the state here. And I want to be clear, it's going to be a far-reaching prosecution. While I'm here in LA, all this engineered light that's touching, remember, there's no sun over here while it's over the roof of the Upland Public Library. It's one or the other. Actually, it's neither, because the sun, as a matter of documentation, is going to remain over the Upland Public Library from 9 o'clock in the morning until after 6, which is what the documentation shows. And the sun is not rising and setting at the same address, which is what the documentation shows here. So that is the prosecution of the people of the state. It is currently, again, 3:37 p.m. This is P.O.C.